home. It's our sanctuary, our place of rest, our comfort zone. It's where we gather with family, share meals, and create memories. But within the very walls that protect us, a silent, invisible force flows constantly. Electricity. It powers our lives, lights up our nights, and connects us to the world. Yet when mishandled or neglected, this essential convenience can become a devastating hazard. A flicker, a spark, a strange smell. These are often the only warnings we get before disaster strikes. In Nigeria, where our power supply can be unpredictable and building practices vary, understanding the fundamentals of electrical safety isn't just a good idea, it's a critical necessity for protecting our homes and our loved ones. Welcome to Build Smart Nigeria. In this episode, we're going to demystify home electrical systems, expose the common dangers lurking in plain sight, and empower you with the knowledge to make your home a truly safe haven. Let's build smart and let's build safe together. Our journey into electrical safety begins where many electrical installations start, the market. Here, a vast array of cables, sockets, and switches are available. But this is also where the first and most critical mistake is often made, choosing the wrong materials. The allure of a cheaper price can lead to purchasing counterfeit or substandard cables. These products might look the part, but they often use inferior metals like aluminum coated to look like copper or have dangerously thin insulation. This is a fire waiting to happen. When electricity flows through a wire, it generates heat. A proper copper cable is designed to handle that heat. A substandard one isn't. It will overheat, melting its insulation and exposing live wires, which can easily lead to a short circuit and a devastating electrical fire. So, how do you choose the right cable? It comes down to two things: gauge and quality. The gauge is the thickness of the wire. In Nigeria, we use the metric system, so you'll see cables measured in square millimeters. For lighting circuits, a 1.5 millimeter squared cable is standard. But for wall sockets, which power our appliances, you should never use anything less than 2.5 millimeter squared. For heavy-duty appliances like air conditioners or water heaters, you'll need an even thicker cable, like 4 or 6 millimeter squared. Using a wire that's too thin for the electrical load is like trying to drink a thick yam porridge through a tiny straw. It just can't handle the flow. The wire will overheat, and that's when danger strikes. Always look for cables from reputable brands and check for markings that specify the gauge and confirm it's made of 100% pure copper. Once you have the right cables, they must be installed correctly. The safest method is to run all wiring through protective PVC conduit pipes. These pipes protect the cables from physical damage, moisture, and pests. Simply tacking exposed wires to the wall or burying them directly in plaster is a hazardous shortcut. Over time, the insulation can degrade, nails can be accidentally driven into them, and the risk of shock or fire increases dramatically. Professional installation means neat, organized, and protected wiring. It's the foundation of a safe electrical system. Now let's talk about the point of contact, the socket. This is where we interact with our electrical system daily, and it's a common point of failure. The biggest mistake we see is overloading. A single wall socket is designed to deliver a specific amount of power. When you use cheap, multi-way adapters or daisy chain extension cords to power a TV, a fridge, a microwave, and charge 3 phones all from one outlet, you are drawing far more current than the circuit was designed for. This overload heats up the wiring in the wall, the socket itself, and the plugs. You might notice the plug feeling warm, a faint buzzing sound, or even see tiny sparks. These are urgent warning signs. The plastic can melt, and a fire can start right there at the wall. The solution is not to stop using your appliances, but to distribute the load intelligently. Instead of a simple adapter, invest in a quality power strip, especially one with built-in surge protection. This not only gives you more outlets, but also adds a crucial layer of defense against the power surges and fluctuations common in our grid. A surge protector acts like a gatekeeper, sacrificing itself to stop a damaging voltage spike from destroying your expensive electronics. And remember, a power strip doesn't increase the total power available from the wall socket. It just lets you access it more safely. Avoid plugging high-power appliances like pressing irons or electric kettles into an extension cord that's already running other devices. Give them their own dedicated socket. Behind every socket and switch in your home is the command center, the consumer unit, or as most of us call it, the breaker box. This is your home's most important safety feature. Inside, you'll find miniature circuit breakers, or MCBs. Each MCB is a smart switch that protects a specific circuit, like the sockets in your kitchen or the lights in your bedrooms. If you overload a circuit or a short occurs, the MCB automatically trips, cutting off the power and preventing a fire. It's far superior to old-fashioned fuse wires that had to be manually replaced. But there's another, even more important device you should have: a residual current device, or RCD. Sometimes called a ground fault circuit interrupter, or GFCI. While an MCB protects the wiring, an RCD protects you, the person. It monitors the flow of electricity, and if it detects even the tiniest imbalance, like the current flowing through a person's body to the ground, it shuts off the power in a fraction of a second, preventing a fatal electric shock. This is absolutely essential for areas with water, like kitchens, bathrooms, and outdoor sockets. So how can you be proactive about safety? You don't have to be an electrician to perform a basic safety check. First, do a visual inspection. Look for cracked or broken sockets, frayed cords on appliances, and scorch marks around any outlets. Feel your sockets and switches when they're in use. They should never feel hot to the touch. Listen for any buzzing or crackling sounds. A simple, inexpensive tool everyone should own is a tester screwdriver. It can help you safely check if a socket is live. For those a bit more comfortable, a digital multimeter is a fantastic tool for checking for stable voltage and proper grounding. And once a month, test your RCD by pressing the test button. The power should cut off immediately. If it doesn't, it needs to be replaced by a professional. While these checks are useful, it's crucial to know your limits. Some signs are red flags that demand immediate professional help. If your circuit breakers trip repeatedly, don't just keep resetting them. It's a sign of a persistent fault. If you experience a mild shock or tingle from an appliance or a water tap, that's a serious warning of a grounding problem. Flickering or dimming lights that correspond with an appliance turning on, or a persistent burning smell with no obvious source, all point to deeper issues within your wiring. In these cases, do not delay. Turn off the power at the main breaker if you can do so safely, and call a licensed, qualified electrician. Trying to fix these issues yourself without the proper knowledge and tools is incredibly dangerous. Electrical safety is also about building good family habits. If you have small children, install safety covers on all unused sockets. Teach them from a young age that sockets and wires are not toys. Get into the habit of unplugging appliances and chargers when they're not in use, especially overnight. This not only saves energy, but also eliminates any potential fire risk from the device. And finally, have an emergency plan. Ensure everyone in the family knows where the breaker box is and how to turn off the main power switch. Have a fire extinguisher, specifically a Class C or ABC type suitable for electrical fires, in an accessible location like the kitchen, and make sure everyone knows how to use it. Building a safe home is about more than just bricks and mortar. It's about making smart choices, from the market to the final switch. Let's recap the key takeaways. 1. Always use genuine, correctly sized copper cables from reputable sources. 2. Ensure all wiring is protected inside conduit. 3. Avoid overloading sockets and use surge-protected power strips. 4. Make sure your breaker box has both MCBs for protecting equipment and an RCD for protecting lives. And 5. Conduct regular checks and know when to call a professional. By taking these steps, you transform your home from a place of potential risk to a true sanctuary of safety and peace of mind. You are building smart. Thank you for joining us on Build Smart Nigeria. If you found this video helpful, please give it a thumbs up. And for more essential home building and safety tips, subscribe to my YouTube channel and like.